to be a pro, you are studying the game, you are analyzing the game, you are analyzing your peers. And the beautiful thing is not with hate. Like, a lot of people feel like they gotta analyze what other people do and they gotta detract from it. Oh man, he bullshitted that, or he don't like that. All you called out in the beginning was people that you are inspired by.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I think that that's something is cool to hear too, because competition is real. It's crazy when you really just open up your mind and just say, yo, I'm gonna just be the best version of me. I can take notes on, I can emulate that. Let me take what I need to do so that I can get better and go ahead and provide for me and mine. I think that that's the real nugget here.
Pull up in the drop light. I didn't miss my with Fago. Stack my money up like Legos.
What's up, world? It's your boy Brandon Copeland, and I'm here with my dog Ross Mack on another very special episode of Money Music Culture. Ross Mack, Purple Rain. What you know about Purple Rain, bro?
I know a little bit, man. You know, this was actually my mama's favorite artist, bro.
Oh, for real?
Prince was different. You feel me? That boy, he had a way. He was a phenomenal performer, phenomenal musician, and this man had all the women in love with this man.
Yeah.
And you already know, our generation, we really didn't know Prince. We know Prince from the Dave Chappelle skit, folks. We know Prince from Game Blouses.
Yeah, but that's funny right there. Prince had that perm on lock.
Matter of fact, I heard your wardrobe similar to Prince.
Hey, shit.
Yeah,
I
heard in the locker room. I heard in the locker rooms you used to have the ruffle shirt with the white shirt with the ruffle collar.
Hey.
And you had the leather pants with the ass cut out, my boy.
Oh, hell.
They say you came into the league. They say you had to dress like Prince for 2 years straight, my boy.
Yeah, you say, look, them rumors, they be spreading. Don't listen to everything you see on the internet, bro. But I guess actually that's a good question before we dive in. You talk about him being a phenomenal performer. Is there anybody, like when you go out, you perform, you've been on tour, are there certain artists that you look at and take cues from or inspiration from when it comes to, you know, performance, or when it comes to the actual lyrics or the music? Like, talk me through that a little bit.
Without a doubt, when I think of music, when I think of impact, right, like from a lyric standpoint, I always look at Bob Marley as having that type of music that transcends generation to generation. When I think of performing, I think some of the greatest performers of all time is James Brown, Michael Jackson, and Beyonce.
Wow.
When I think of as a rapper, when I think of great performers on the rap side, I think Snoop Dogg surprisingly is a good performer, while also Drake is a really great performer. Because you got the thing that music changed, it went from, you know, people performing with a real live band, right, to, you know, rappers just having them and they DJ and random hype man on there, right? Where it's like, okay, you Tony Ayo, you what's my dog, Flavor Flav with the clock light. Yeah. But like when it comes to it, like the artistic side of it, I really enjoy it. I've performed with drummers, violinists, all that type of stuff. So it's like, you know, you take the art to the next level. And when you talk about crowd control, it's on another level. Tory Lane's kind of hard too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That boy he walk on his crowd. Like other people crowd surf, he walks on his crowd. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Tory Lane's one of the most, in my opinion, I know he's a controversial musician, but he's one of the most fire musicians in my opinion. I think the boy talented, right? When you can rap and you can switch to singing on the same track and all that stuff, like you got a different type of talent in my opinion. And yeah, I definitely vibe with his music. Like us as players, right? Like if I'm watching, I watch Von Miller film or Khalil Mack or, you know, I watch who's some of the guys.
Don't forget Ray
nowadays.
Louisville.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, growing up, I'm talking like even now, like if I'm thinking like of a specific trait. So like for me as a ball player, it's like there might be a specific trait or a specific move that I might be trying to improve. And so I'll go and we can go to our video director and have him cut up all the sacks that Von Miller has got over the last X amount of years, or all the speed rushes or all the power rushes or all the this, you know.
Wow, that's dope.
And so do you break down your own film? Do you break down film of others or anything like that? Or like what kind of, like, how do you prep for like a performance? I'm curious to know. We're going to keep this great conversation going, but before we do, make sure you go follow Money Music Culture so that you never miss an episode. And go visit us at life101.io.
So for me, right, one of the things as a musician, and yours is going to be a lot different because you're able to see it all the time. Sometimes you gotta just be in the area, you gotta feel it, right? Like I remember just watching. I would watch J. Cole because I was privileged enough to be on the tour with J. Cole. I wasn't performing, but I was just there, right? I did maybe half the tour. Like I was in the camp of Jeremiah. And I was literally just watching. I would watch J. Cole performing from backstage as well as in the audience. And when you watch him, not only is he a great performer, I probably should have mentioned him, not only is he a great performer, but there's so many other elements to it, right? Stage, literally their backdrop. They would build a stage out, right? For the Forest Hill Drives tour, he made it look like he was performing on top of his roof, just like the album cover, right? Yeah. And so when you're looking at everything, Big Sean was on that one, right? He had a pretty good stage build out too. So you're looking at everything. You're looking at how the audience is interacting with them. You're seeing, okay, how are they interacting and talking back and forth with the audience, right? Is it some some call and response type things? Is it, everybody hands up? Are we going in order, left to right? Or is it like, what is it? What happens when should the lights be dimmed, right? Because it's certain elements that you were trying to take the audience through an entire, a trip, a journey, and bro. And so some of these people, bro, I watched Beyonce perform once, and I'm like, Shorty hard. Yeah. Shorty's hard. You know what I'm saying? She is hard, right? And then it's other people, right? It's like and it depends where you're at, because some people allow the audience just to perform for them, right? They gonna let the audience sing the song, but it's other people that really take this art form to the next level. And I think, that's something crazy. Matter. Speaking of your way, right? I was seeing that what's my dog name? Aaron Donald. Oh yeah. He be training with like people trying to stab him, and he blocking the stabs. Yeah. Like what's going on with that?
Hey,
you ever tried that?
I don't know, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I don't know. It's funny because I always watch that video, and I've done the rhythm of that pass rush drill, so to speak. But it ain't no knives around when I'm doing that mug. You know what I'm saying? I'll be wondering if his joint is like fake knives or if they real, type of thing. But it's pretty cool. Fake. I mean, ultimately, that dude's a grown ass man, and it's clearly for a reason. I mean, the way he dominated the league all these years, and his training, his diet, and all of that type of stuff is just like, I mean, the dude is. There's certain people. I think that's one of the things I've seen in the league is like, obviously y'all blessed and gifted talent wise to get to the league, right? And most of the guys, although I consider myself a hard worker, right? Like at a certain point, I am and was a hard worker even in high school, but like there's a certain level in your career where you're just better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody gets to the league if they're not the guy at their high school or college, so to speak. And I don't want to say the guy, because it's like for me in high school, I wasn't necessarily the guy, going out of high school and going to Penn. It wasn't like I had all these offers and all of that type of stuff, right? But, senior year of football, it was challenging to me because it was football, but like I wasn't afraid of anybody on the field with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like I'm the big dog here. You get to college and freshman year, it's a transition because everybody's more developed than you. You're playing against 22-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? 22, sometimes 23-year-olds. And for me, I was 17 when I came into college, and I'm like, damn, like this is a little different. But you take that next level step, and anyway, you get to the league, and again, you had to be somewhat of a standout in college to get to the NFL, right? And then you get to the NFL, and there are certain players and certain people that you realize, like, oh, God just made you different. Like, oh, I get it. Like, I can work as hard as I want, but God just gave you a little bit of extra, like, go ahead, bless it. Go ahead, boom. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Like, just and it's funny because I was asking you those questions, and it's, one of the things we talk about is like it's different being a pro versus an amateur. And when I say that, it's you look at the game different. You study the game different. You understand, as a pro football player, I understand my body differently. I don't watch football anymore like a fan. I'm watching it like dissecting it, figuring out what's the next play. Oh, it's third and such. Oh, they got to do a pass right now. They got to keep it in bounds. Like, you're thinking about it like a pro. And it's cool hearing the way you talk about the music, right? Obviously you're a pro, right? But people, I think, take for granted the difference in the level of not just introspection, but the difference in the level of like that next step that you're taking. Like you said, you watch them from backstage, but then you also watch them from the audience, and you're watching Beyonce. Like, you're not just watching. It's probably hard for you to just go to a concert and just genuinely enjoy, because you're probably analyzing it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's your artwork. Film. It's your study, So
yeah, because they're musicians with God-given talent, right? It's not a lot of people that's gonna sing as good as certain people, or dance as good as a Chris Brown and Michael Jackson. But it's other stuff you work at, right? How do I engage with the audience, right? How do I, study how to compose a song, right? It's people with raw singing talent, right? Then it's like, because it's like Tank, a way better singer than Drake, but you're going to want to hear Drake or, sing on the track before you hear Tank, because he's going to study the composition of it. Yeah, how do I put this song together? What's the frequency I need to make this song at? Because it's a level of making a song that's going to make you ride to it or dance to it, as opposed to you listen to a Kendrick, it's some introspective music. You might not have that many songs, or him or J. Cole, great lyricists. They're not going to have that many songs, in the club, or that you hearing on the radio, that you pregame it to, or even locker room, right? Yep. But like Drake got a way, he can get in his R&B bag, he can get it in this, real rapping bag, but he's going to stay in this pop top 100, put me on the radio bag. And that's just anything he touched. He studied the game to the fullest. And it's a lot of it, it's like who you come up under, right? Being able to come up under Lil Wayne, arguably one of the greatest rappers, is like, right? Same with Kanye. Being able to come up under Jay-Z puts him in a different creative bag where you get to learn from the greatest. Yeah. So you coming into, when you came into the league, you able to being able to come into an organization like the Ravens first, or being able to work with Belichick. It's like, this is a different ball game, as opposed to just drafted and playing your whole career in Jacksonville. You probably have never gotten better.
Yeah, I mean, no, real talk. I mean, no offense to those guys in Jacksonville, but it's like, I know you using them as an example, but it's like there's certain teams I've been on myself, and I'd be like, if I would have started here as a rookie, I wouldn't have made it long, because I would have thought that this was
the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions.
Nah, see, the thing about Detroit, though, I'm going to give you this. This is real talk. This is 100% real. This ain't no political bullshit. Detroit, we were because we had Jim Caldwell. Now, not just because he was a black head coach.
He from my mama town. He from small town in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Coach Caldwell was a real one, bro. Like, we had I think our issue then was it's crazy. We had Stafford, who is a dog. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. Everybody wanted to hate on Stafford, but he was a dog. Y'all saw them throws this year, and with an older arm, he was like that. Megatron, Golden Tate at the slot, Marvin Jones at wide receiver, right?
That's different.
Different, right? On defense, we had DeAndre Levy, Steve Tully, Tyre Whitehead. We had Glover Quinn.
Dominican Sue was
missing Dominican. I think, to be honest with you, if we had we needed the one piece we were missing is that person that didn't give a shit about a fine, that edge. We had too many good guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, right? Like it wasn't like we playing soft or nothing like that, but we needed that dude that was gonna hit you out of bounds. Like, bro, you run that shit again, I'm fucking you up. You know what I'm saying? We needed the dude that was gonna step on the ankle. Well, I don't need you to get ejected, but you know what I'm saying? We needed a little.
Nah, I get you.
Little edge.
It's edge.
Yeah.
But that's the same in any sport. Shoot, you watching it with Draymond Green of the world, like in basketball. You need the one who ain't scared. Yeah. Right? Udonis Haslam, although he'll never get in the game for real, but when he do get in, he gonna make hell. They got to be up like 60 points for Udonis to get his old ass in the game.
Right.
But yeah, that's real though, bro. You need that gritty player. Even the Bears, right? I'm a Bears fan. We ain't got no gritty mugs at all.
I'm trying to think. Nah,
even Khalil Mack got all that bread, came to Chicago and got real pretty boy on us.
Yeah,
That grit. He had some grit with the Raiders.
It's that
I don't know if it was
Chicago,
injuries
bro.
or whatnot, but
Yeah.
that Chicago,
That's that
too
weather.
cold or whatever.
That weather, them injuries.
Could be.
It
But it's
add
cold
up.
in Boston.
Yeah, nah, I mean it is.
But we ain't
but
got.
it's
We don't
different,
got
though.
that culture. We have a
Yeah.
culture of defense, right? We don't have a culture of offense.
Well, you see,
Defense. Our defense have always been overworked since my entire life.
yeah, you see the reason why Boston. Well, you brought up Boston, so I'm assuming you're bringing up the Patriots, right? The reason why the Patriots are so good is obviously you got an extraordinary coach in Belichick. You had once in a, I mean, I'm not gonna say lifetime. We might not see a player like Tom Brady. I mean, to win, what is he, 7 rings, 6 rings, 7 rings in
Seven. He passed Mike
in
with 6.
football. 7 in football is crazy, and I know that's. I mean, there's some great players, Hall of Famers who've never even made the playoff.
For what it's worth, you got to win fewer games
What you mean?
than NBA. Like,
Oh yeah, but
know
but
what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
You got
but
the
I think football is just the
series.
ultimate team sport. You got, I mean, basketball I understand too. Basketball you got like you have injuries and all that stuff, but football it's just so many things. Like you can be a really good
different
team.
type of injury. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like how many times at the beginning of the season with football, for example, even like growing up, they had the NCAA football and everything like that. I remember Georgia used to always be ranked number 1. They just won the championship finally, right? But like they would never end up being number 1. Like the number 1 team at the beginning of the season in football usually never ends up being the number 1 team. Like you got the Bengals who went from 4-12 to the Super Bowl this year, which that don't really happen like that in basketball that quickly. Or the Rams when Sean McVay came, he turned them around real
Unless
quick.
you get Braun to go to their team.
Unless
and then
you
it's
get
like
Braun, yeah.
Cavs the worst team,
Yeah.
and then okay, we back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, championship contention.
Yeah, facts.
But no, that's real though.
Facts.
Football is a game of every play counts. Basketball, you could take a play or two off. Like football, it's like, bruh, special teams got to be clicking. Field goal kicker, the punter got to be clicking. Everything got to be clicking at the right time, right? You know what I'm saying? So I get that.
And so it's
that
out
is
of.
a
I
very
think football
different-
is tougher because it's the only. I'm biased, so I will admit that. But I think because, like you
course
said,
you are.
the snappers got to be clicking, the punters got to be clicking, the kick, the field goal. Like it's so many different players that gotta row in the right direction for the team to be successful. That it's pretty remarkable to win 7 of them things, right? Like, and
Nah, he goated.
Yeah.
He forever goated. Like I'm biased, so I'm gonna be like, no, the greatest athlete of all time is Michael Jordan because he truly changed the game, right? Tom Brady didn't truly change the game. What he did was excel at a game that existed, and he beat it. He beat the game, right? Like when you think of people that change football, right? It's gonna be like Mahomes is changing the way the quarterback. Well, Vic changed the quarterback, right? And Mahomes taking it to the next level. But like Brady was just a statistician, a genius. He studied the game. I wouldn't say he changed it, but what he did was elevate it to a level where he's the greatest winner of all time. He wasn't always the most talented. Like any given year, right, when you come in, like, okay, Jordan was the best in the league, or Kobe, or this, that, and the third. Like when you come into the NFL, like several times you'll look and be like, yo, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback
Yep.
than Brady, but Brady is the greatest winner,
right.
I would say.
Yeah,
right?
no.
That's how I would look at it.
No, I mean it's like the Kobe of the world. I mean Kobe is a remarkable player as well too. You could make that argument that he was like the Aaron Rodgers of the league for years and years and years. But like the thing I always respected about Kobe and Brady is like regardless of what situation you in, they gonna do they damnedest to try to find a way to win. You know what I'm saying? Like you never feel like you out for the count with them on their team. But I think that the reason why they had so much success in New England is because when your best player, that once in a lifetime, once in a generation player, is not only willing to take a pay cut in order to get more talent around him, but also, I've never played with Brady, but I've only heard amazing things about him as a teammate. Like from literally like they talk about how this dude, the practice squad guy on the team who might only be there for a week and is gone, he knows his name. He's greeting him by first name type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Versus the Julian Edelmans and the people he's throwing to every time, right?
Brady the GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
Brady the GOAT.
Like, I did an interview.
It's crazy.
I interviewed, I want to say Devin White this offseason. Yeah, I interviewed Devin White this offseason, and he showed up. We were at the Pro Bowl, and he showed up like 5 minutes early. And I think he might have been one of the only players to do that. And the people in the room were talking and laughing like, man, like, that's pretty cool that you showed up. He was like, man, look, y'all, I'm on the clock. I'm on the clock. Y'all on the clock. Like, I got to respect my time the way – I got to respect your time the way you respect mine and yada, yada, yada. You know, like, right. I want to be a leader, and if I want to lead, how I'm going to show up late. Like, you know, but then he alluded how he was like, yeah, like, when Tom walked in the building, that's how it was. Like, and so if the dude on your team like that is setting that type of standard for everybody else, it's easy for everybody to quote unquote fall in line or respect that standard. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy? All the teams Brady done played for, it's a different culture that he brings with him. And it's so funny. He tried to get certain people to fit into that culture, right? He tried to get the Randy Mosses, the Antonio Browns to fit in the culture, and the shit ain't working.
Yeah.
You say who?
The ABs. Yep. I was agreeing.
Yeah, AB, man, that's one of the greatest talents to effectively be wasted probably since what's the motherfucking name who played for the Dolphins and quit to go be able to smoke weed?
Oh, Ricky Williams.
Ricky, bro, like
Ricky.
It's like, well, shit. If we talk about people that smoke weed, you got Flash Gordon, like a lot of great talents, but like,
and he brought him in.
One of them ones though.
Josh Gordon, remember they brought them to he was with the Patriots for a minute.
Did he try Ocho Cinco too?
He had Ocho in his last year.
Bro, Brady tried some shit, bro. Brady be trying it, and he's like, man, you know what? I gotta stay with a BC type player. Because them the ones who going to fit the mold where if you come in with that big ego, it ain't fitting, right? Because believe it or not, Brady don't got that big of an ego.
Oh, yeah. Nah,
that's what makes him work.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that. And like I said, it's certain players that are those once-in-a-generation players. Like, I don't know if I ever told, like, when Calvin Johnson, Megatron, right? My first day in Detroit with the Lions, 2015, I'm coming off the street. I had literally I signed a signing bonus with the Lions at that time for 25 bands, which probably put my account at, well, they probably took taxes out of it, but if they didn't take taxes out of it, it probably put my bank account at like $25,300 type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was needed. It was time. I need this. But I remember literally being there my first day, and we got to go at 8 a.m. started our workout, and I'm sitting there, and we got this beautiful bubble out in Detroit, and I'm the first one in there. You know, I'm coming off the street, so I'm the first one in that mug, and I'm getting my cleats on. I'm just ready. And Calvin walks in, but I don't know it's Calvin at the time, right? Like, it's just a tall dude. Wow. And I'm like, man. So he just walks past. So he's the second one in, right? Walks past me, introduces himself. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? I'm Calvin. What's your name? I'm like, Brandon Copeland. People call me Cope, though. Nice to meet you. I'm like, Calvin? Cool. He's like, yeah, if you need anything, let me know, blah, blah, blah. Like, pleasure to meet you, boss. And he walks to the other end to start warming up for the run and everything like that. And I'm like, dang, this dude like 6'6". This dude look like a damn basketball player. Like, damn, Calvin. Bro, Calvin. I'm like, Calvin. Johnson? Calvin? Megatron? Like, I'm like, hold up. Damn, right? Wow. Like, that's Megatron, right? Like, you know, obviously you got to focus in on your workout and doing your thing, but like that always stuck with me, the fact that like this dude, it was his final season. We didn't know it at the time, right? But like Hall of Famer, you know, first ballot Hall of Famer, all of that type of stuff. And he introduces himself to the lowest guy. Like, you don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? The lowest guy in the room. Off rip, you know what I'm saying? But that's the special. That's the thing that makes him special. That's the thing that makes Brady special. That's the thing that makes those Haloti Nadas of the world. That's the thing that makes the Ed Reeds of the world special. Is because when you talk to people that have been around them, their humbleness is what has them continuing to work so crazy. Like they say, Calvin was in the meeting room taking notes like he a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like Calvin is really blessed where he could just show up and be, all right, bro, what's it, a comeback? Cool. Go route? Cool. Post. But he taking notes on his people like it's his job. You know what I'm saying? And
And if you take that same mindset, right, obviously that's what makes all the dopest athletes get better each year, right? Watching Jason Tatum get better this year is crazy, right? But when you look at music, that's what makes Drake stay relevant.
Yeah.
Drake does not get comfortable, and he also adapts with the time. So if music is going in a new genre, right, where it's like, if it's some drill rap or it's mumble rap, whatever, Drake don't shit on no type of genre. He literally adjusts to it and say, okay, I could do the mumble rap, I could do the drill, I could do the and he does it and he takes it over, and then he gets back to what makes Drake great. But he stay relevant no matter what's going on, bro.
Say no more, man. Well, look, listen. I don't think there's much left to be said, man. To be a pro, I think to sum this episode up, man, to be a pro, I think it takes a few different traits, and it was cool hearing your story about how naturally to be a pro, you are studying the game, you are analyzing the game, you are analyzing your peers, and the beautiful thing too about you is it's not with hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of people feel like they gotta analyze what other people do and they gotta detract from it. Or, man, he bullshitted that, or he don't like that, right? Like, all you called out in the beginning was people that you are inspired by, right? Like, people that you get motivated by, and you can, iron sharpens iron. And I think that that's something that is cool to hear too, because competition is real. And I'm in a sport where it's all about competition, but it's crazy when you really just open up your mind and just say, yo, I'm gonna just be the best version of me. But yo, you got something that I can take notes on. I can emulate that. You over there, that team, we might be competition. They might put us against each other. They might pay you a little more than me. It's kind of pisses me off, but that's not my beef with you, right? Let me take what I need to do so that I can get better and go ahead and provide for me and mine. I think that's the real nugget here.
The thing is, and I'm gonna say on that, is like, for me, right, you made it to a different professional level than I did in my career, right? And so what I say, and obviously the other professionals, I make it to a different level than you yourself, but I still put you at a completely different level. But for me, I had to be truthful to myself and said, okay, I'm not gonna be the next Drake, right? What is my niche that I can fall into and master? And so one of the things I did was like, okay, how do I get syncs, placements? And what that means is literally getting paid to have your song in either commercials, movies, TV shows, etc., right? They pay you to license your music to put it in there. And for me, I'm like, yo, that's what I want to focus on. How do I get that right? What's the type of song? So now you listening, now you listening to movies like, oh, let me hear that song. Now you watching TV shows, because anytime you listen to a song on a movie or a TV show, commercial, whatever, they're paying that artist and they're paying them well, depending on, what the show is. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm like, how do I master this one? Because if I ain't going, here's the thing. In order to get my song on the radio, and I've had my song on the radio several times in Chicago, but to be a nationally, person to have your song on the radio, you are literally competing with Beyonce, Kanye, Jay-Z, Drake, the list goes on, right? But you're competing with the best of the best. So the program director of that radio station has to say, in order to keep our viewers listening, because they're getting paid off having the most viewership, that's how they selling radio ads, right? Mm-hmm. So, during this hour, we got these amount of viewers, right? Or listeners, I'm sorry. So in order for me to compete with them, right, I got to have the craziest songs or the craziest buzz or be signed. Right. But when it comes to getting a sync licensing, I don't got to compete with Drake because they know it's going to cost way too much money to have Drake in this movie or this TV show. Gotcha. Right? That's too much money. But let me get the smaller artist, right, who makes a great song. Boom. So now I'm studying that. What type of music they playing? And then I learn the game, right? I go to I went to a thing called SyncCon, learning the game, right? Okay. You go to the actual program, it's called Music Supervisor, right? To get your song on a video game, right? Like, okay, what's the type of songs they want, right? Some poppy, some uplifting, not a lot of cursing. You can't have a song where every other word is such and such, beep, mother beep, beep, I got a lot of beep. Like, nah, that don't work, right? But when it comes to syncing, catchy hooks, great poppy beats, that's what's going to get it. And like, you talking about something, you ain't talking about guns, you ain't talking about this, you talk about money, you talk about having fun. they gonna buy that. And as a result, I done been in a decent amount of syncs. And I just got a call the other day like, yo, we looking for this type of song. I can get to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know what they looking for.
That's dope. That's dope. See, that's the masterpiece right there. Is putting the work in to realize your dreams. I think that's the beautiful thing is anything can be accomplished. It's just about, are you comfortable rolling your sleeves up and getting the job done? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly the way, like you said, like I don't foresee myself turning into Aaron Donald this year. It'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be nice. I like me, but Brandon Copeland version of Aaron, you know what I'm saying? But I know my lane, and let me go and run the shit out of this damn lane. So, man, hey, enough said, brother. Keep doing your thing, man. Now, next time, though, I need you to invite me on tour, though, because, your brother, I got some shit on my chest. I need to get off. We do a freestyle section every show.
I'll bring you on stage if you give me a 10-day contract.
Hey, I'm gonna do you like Monique did D.L. Hughley, though. That's what I'm going to do. I'm supposed to be the headliner in this mug.
Hey, bro, that was the funniest thing I ever seen, bro.
Monique, that's Baltimore for you, brother. That's Baltimore, man. But hey, man, another episode of Money Music Culture, man. Ross, tell them what to do, man.
Y'all already know what to do, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and more importantly, make sure you share it, man. You got to share it with the community. We're trying to build the community, so go ahead, share it with your cousin, your auntie, you know what I mean, your nephew, your neighborhood dog walker. You already know, man. Let's get it, as well as your nosy neighbor, the one that's upstairs beating on the door. Whatever it is, let's get it, man. Till next week, let's get it.